To keep the momentum, we're going to actually get started now. I know a few people left for a second, but they'll be back. So we're making our segue now into session 3, and I wanted to start out by saying that this is not only an exciting workshop for me, but it's also exciting to hear quotes. When I hear Yogi Berra make a quote, or even a John Muir. And I think the John Muir quote was particularly telling because I'm not sure I'm going to get this right because I'm trying to remember how it went, but it was, if you pick up something to study, you soon find that it's connected to everything in the universe. And that's kind of telling for the session that we're entering right now. And that's the systems view of how we study health or study climate or study anything intermediary, because we're finding that each component becomes interdependent. And it's that level of interdependence which becomes the challenge. If you're building models, systems which have climate as a component or different aspects of health as a component, there are some components which are more interdependent than others, and you can simplify it, but I think that's our challenge, to figure out how do we do that appropriately and come up with robust conclusions. So my name is Geernaert. I work at U.S. Department of Energy. We're not historically a funder for climate research, and there's a good reason, and that's because we don't. But we do fund a lot of research in climate modeling, and we've been part of the big U.S. enterprise in climate model development, and we're undergoing a renaissance these days in climate modeling. We just went through the IPCC process, but I think most of you know that the results of the IPCC are based upon research which was published at least 3 years ago, so it's pretty old research. But if you look at today's models, they are rapidly approaching 25 kilometer in fully interdependent mode globally. You can nest it down to, say, 1 kilometer or 5 kilometer in some regions. But what we're doing is we're allowing these models to at least start to resolve extreme events, which we couldn't do in the IPCC in 2007, but we can now. And what that does is it creates the opportunity for impact modeling to go beyond just looking at the broad energy sector or the broad water sector, but also look at health. And that's where we are excited about pushing the envelope, where climate models now have an interdependence with health. And that's why we're here today. So to kick this off, we have a couple of speakers before we have the panel. And I'd like to introduce Georges Benjamin, if you might come up, please. He's from the American Public Health Association, and his talk is going to be on systems thinking in health, a population-based approach to climate change impact. So Georges, the floor is yours.